Welcome back to GTU. It's one of the most common food allergies and the most susceptible for cross-contamination. It's also a key component in those easy school lunches. We're talking about PB&Js.
Jen Gerard, nurse specialist from Canyon School District, is here to share more about the importance of food allergies and how to be mindful for the kids that have them. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're all talking about back to school, all gearing up, thinking about everything. We need the supplies, packing the lunches, and I truly have not given a lot of thought to what I might be sending, who might be allergic to what near my children. What should we be mindful of?
So I think that it's important to be mindful that students have different allergies. I mean, people have different allergies to different allergens. There's 8 or 9 most common allergens, and those include peanuts, tree nuts, soy, wheat, etc. And so being mindful that some people do have allergies, and that doesn't mean that affects what you pack for your own child. It affects how those children behave in the cafeteria, that they don't share food with their friends. Those kinds of things bring more awareness. Washing your hands before and after eating so that protects you, and after eating to protect others, to remove any of those allergens that might still be on your skin.
So Jen, is it okay for parents out there to pack the PB&J?
For sure, yeah. If your child can eat a PB&J, then you should pack a PB&J for your child if that's what you want to send. We're not saying that you can't send something to school. We're just saying that we're being more allergen aware in our schools, and we're making sure that we are implementing plans to keep students safe who might have a history of allergies.
Aren't there some allergies, though, where you can't even be around it? Like, you can't even be in the same room to the nuts or the soy. So what do we do in that situation?
For some people, there's varying degrees of allergies or allergic reactions, which I'll refer to as anaphylaxis. That would be a life-threatening allergic reaction. So some people they have to ingest the allergen, the protein that causes that reaction, and other people, it can be airborne, aerosolized. If they're boiling milk on a stove, that can put somebody into anaphylaxis. We typically try to meet with families. We meet with parents, and we start there. We collect some information about the history of their allergic reactions for the individual student, and then we create what we refer to as an emergency action plan. And so these plans are to educate the school team, and so that we can seek all the ways to avoid triggers and keep them safe at school.
All right, to give us an idea of how many children are affected, how many individual emergency action plans do you have in the Canyon School District?
So last year we had, in elementary, we had about 105, and those are the students that we know about who we worked with families to create those emergency action plans in elementary. District-wide, it was over 300. So there's a fair amount of students that are experiencing history of anaphylaxis and allergies to different common allergens.
And what did you bring? What's in front of you?
So these are EpiPens. I brought these to show what they look like. This is a twin pack of Epi, so there's 2 doses. You can give one, and if somebody were to need another dose of epinephrine, we would give the second one 3 to 5 minutes later. Those are reserved for the severe life-threatening allergic reaction. So if you're having any swelling from the neck up, we're more concerned. So anything that's going to affect your ability to talk, swallow, breathe, that's when we would use the epinephrine to
Is that the most common reaction when you're having a food allergy reaction? Is it that swelling?
So that's the life-threatening reaction. So there's varying degrees of allergic reactions. Some people will break out in a rash or have hives on their body. But if you're having, if your immune system is over-responding, is essentially what anaphylaxis is, then it's going to create swelling and fluid as the histamine response comes in. And so that can start to close off the airway, restrict the blood flow, now I'm losing my words. But
the breath.
That's the scary part.
It makes it hard to breathe. If you have swelling of your tongue, it's hard to swallow, it's hard to talk. Kids describe it differently. They'll say things like, my mouth feels tingly, my mouth feels weird. You'll hear it in their speech a little bit. Swelling of the lips or the eyes indicates that we've got fluid rushing to the area.
So that's what we should look for. And what can we tell our kids if they see that happening? What do they do?
They should find an adult. Let's get somebody that can come and help, see that there's something going on, that there's something wrong with their friend, and tell somebody about it so that we can get them the support that they need. In all of our buildings, we do have stock Epi, which is what I brought today, and it is something that we can use for anybody. So if we find an allergic reaction that we didn't suspect or that we didn't know about, somebody tries something different and they didn't know they had an allergy, then we can use that epinephrine for them using the stock that we keep in our schools. And then we train all of our staff, all of our employees in the schools to how to administer it and the signs and symptoms to watch for.
Well, and what's so great at Canyons, too, is their nutrition service workers make sure every child gets a meal they can eat and enjoy. So you don't have I mean, you're not going hungry if you have an allergy.
Correct, yeah. About a quarter of our students are on free and reduced price meals, and so our nutrition services will work with, and that's not just for them, it's for everybody, but if you have a student that has an allergy to something and they need to avoid that allergy, we work with our nutrition services to create a special meal plan for them. They'll meet with families, they'll go through all the ingredient lists that are on our menu and identify the foods that are safe for that child to eat, and then they prepare those meals ahead of time before they prepare everybody else's lunches so that there isn't any cross-contamination.
Wow.
A lot of work goes into
It's a
the
lot of
beginning of
work.
school. And that's on Monday for Canyons District.
It is
So are you
Monday.
ready?
We're
You're
trying.
ready.
We're working fast to be ready.
Well, good info, and nice to know that they're in such good hands at Canyons. Thank you so much.
Thank you.